Mount Moon Review Podcast, while a podcast about Pokemon, is not intended for children. You can expect some instances of adult humor, coarse language, and adult situations. Parental discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 52 of the Mount Moon Review Podcast, the only Pokemon podcast that actually makes it a full year of doing episodes. I am your host, the Raspberries, with my co-host, the Blue Duck Gold Duck, bringing you all the information you need to know about the world of Pokemon's happened in the last week. In less than an hour, let's be honest. You say about an hour, but it's going to be less than an hour, because there's not a whole lot of news this week, Duck.
Unfortunately, no.
But it is an extravaganza. It is an extravaganza.
Yeah, we're retiring.
We are?
Yeah, we did it for a year. That's all, right?
Maybe.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Say, Duck's just springing this on me now. Apparently, this is the last episode. I don't know.
I'm done with this season.
I even wear my good Pokemon shirt.
I could have got mine.
This one's got sleeves.
Is your Judge logo falling off on the back?
No,
or the letters?
That's just yours.
Oh, okay.
I think another judge that borrowed your shirt may be responsible for that, but I'm not sure.
I thought it was just happening to everybody.
No, just you.
Oh,
I'll tell you what, though, if the judge words actually ever fall off of the back, I can wear this in public then.
I'm gonna get it. Like, you get those sewn letters, the letters that get sewn on.
Yeah,
that's probably what I'll do if it ever falls off completely.
I don't know, because these are really nice shirts, and I don't know. The thing is that they're so stretchy. I'm not sure if a patch would fit on them, but let me know if it works.
That's a good point.
Anyway, so we're going to go over some Pokemon news, but you messaged me something earlier this week, and I intentionally did not ask any follow-up questions because I wanted to record it because it sounds like a story of epic proportions. It kind of sounds like something I'd talk about on another podcast, but tell me about Taco Bell.
Oh, okay. So I don't eat lunch at work. That's something... it's just usually I work right through it. I don't even notice. Whatever. We don't get breaks every day. It's by choice. I could eat lunch if I wanted to. So Monday I go to work, do my 8. Then I had another job I was trying to finish up from over the weekend that was, making up a little bit of the money I lost when I hurt my arm. And that I got done at like 8:30 at night. So this is a 13-hour day for me. I'm not going to cook when I get home. Obviously not. So I pull up to Taco Bell in the drive-thru, the closest Taco Bell to me. And as I'm pulling up, I can hear the person on the little intercom thing that talks to you. She's yelling really loud at somebody inside the store, right?
Okay.
And she's like, "No, I'm not doing it. I'm okay, I'm done." And then proceeds to throw I look ahead and I can see the
headset
fly out the window and come off of whatever it's plugged in there and go out the window.
It actually came out the window.
Yeah. and then the voice of another person comes on and she's like, "Sorry for the inconvenience. We have to reboot our system. It's going to be about 20 to 30 minutes." And I'm like, "Okay, then, bye." And I left.
By reboot their system, they mean knock that girl upside the head? Or
maybe she pulled some plugs on her way out.
Oh, wow. So you saw somebody rage quit at Taco
Bell. Yeah, and I'm just so defeated,
I just want a chalupa.
I'm exhausted. I was just going to get the Taco 12 pack.
Just the 12-pack.
Just the 12-pack and a quesadilla for my girlfriend.
Oh, how magnanimous of you.
Yeah, she likes quesadillas better.
I'm going to eat my 12 tacos. Here's your $1 quesadilla.
Well, she has some tacos too.
Dude,
I just get that.
You don't.
What?
You don't like. You don't like. Treat her like a Pokemon, do you?
All I feed her is muffins.
Is she? If you can hear my voice, are you safe?
She can't hear you. I have headphones.
So if anybody actually knows of Duck's personal life, maybe they want to do a welfare check. You know, blink twice if you need help.
It's okay. We went over her training this morning. She'll blink.
Oh my god.
Or no, she won't blink. Just kidding. This is getting kind of weird.
This is getting dark.
Yeah.
So,
Pokemon.
So let's before we get to the news, we're gonna get to the news. We have been doing this podcast now for a year.
Yeah.
Without missing a single episode. We have done episodes with me in a hotel rooms on a laptop. I've done them, you know, we have one way or another, we have kicked out 52 episodes straight. And we almost got it to like the day. I mean, you did the math, and we were like off by a couple days. We could have synced it up. But I think that is actually a phenomenal feat in that we were able to make it a full year, because most people don't. Most podcasts, they might get to around that 30 mark, but that's about it. That's like the high water mark. So yay us.
I was listening to another podcast where they were saying that 25 is like a milestone episode. If you can go 25 episodes, you're already doing it right. So
apparently we're the shiznit. So do you remember? Yeah, let's talk about this. Let's give people some background information. Why did we start a Pokemon podcast?
So I am on all the news sites all the time, and I've always, like, when I went to college, I wanted to go to be a radio DJ. I think that is kind of playing into this. I'm always looking at the news. I'm always telling people, like, hey, did you hear about this? Did you see they revealed that? You know? And I'm like, you know what? I could do a podcast. And, you know, I had a couple ideas for it, for what I could do, but I didn't think I could talk alone. And then one day,
one fateful day,
I'm at your league, and you said something. I don't remember what you said, but you said something that was like, I should ask him if he wants to do the podcast with me. And you're like, oh yeah, that sounds kind of interesting.
Well, I am a performer by nature. I always have been. You've heard me reference professional wrestling so many times on this podcast, and Duck rolls his eyes every time. But the thing about it is that is the performance that I come from. I was involved in professional wrestling in Pennsylvania, Maryland, West Virginia, in that circuit area. I've been involved with it for a long time, and I was always thrived on being on that stage. And it's a very different stage than most people are used to dealing with that are in any kind of, you know, theatrics, because you have an audience 360 degrees around you. And you get different mediums too, because you're doing video presentation when you're cutting promos. You're in the ring with a live audience, and you have to feed off of them. You have to play the bad guy. I always play the bad guy. I was always the heel. Like, I started as a referee, and then I moved into a more a managerial role, and I've managed people that are on TV right now. So it was a really, really cool thing. And then when we moved, it completely cut off. Now, it was dwindling down to begin with, because I had a partner that I ran a show with back in Pennsylvania, and we did a really, really great show. We brought talent in from all over the place, and I got to work with some phenomenal people. Former, you know, WWE, WCW, ECW, TNA, now AEW, and I've worked with a lot of those people, and it was so much fun. But it started dwindling down because my partner got married to the wrong woman, and she sold his ring. So we had to partner with another group. It kind of fizzled out for me. And then when I moved, it was completely gone. But I've always had this need to perform in a way, and that's what this is. This is a performance. And you talk about being a radio DJ. I've thought about that at one point as well, and this is really an extension of that because I got into doing the Twitch streaming, and I already had the setup, and it was just a matter of when you said about doing a podcast. I thought about doing it, but trying to find the right people who not only can talk, because that's the big thing, they got to be able to talk, but they also have to commit to something and actually have a schedule, and you can rely on them to hold up their end. That's something you can't find very often.
I've learned while doing this with you that's the case.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Not from you, but like we've only had one guest on the show. Well, technically two, but only one live guest. And why was that? How many people did we propose being guests, and how many people said they would be on the show, and then they can't show up?
Yeah, last minute they bounced out. And we did have we had two guests. We had John Boy, who made a huge donation last year to our Extra Life campaign. Still a friend of the show, and our friend Cody. He's also a Twitch streamer. Really helped me get started. I really cannot thank him enough for as much as he helped me get into streaming. And he's like my own personal tech support too. I can like hit him up on Discord or on Facebook and like, bro, I'm having a problem with OBS, and he's right on there, and it's great. But he works in telecom, so he's got an expertise in it. So surround yourself with people that know what they're doing.
I remember I was actually watching your stream the first day. Cody joined and was watching, and he asked you if you bought that hat or if you're an actual professor. Yeah. That was the first thing you said in your chat.
Douche canoe. Oh, I loved him to death, though. We really had an opportunity one time that we were going to get together in D.C., and we were all going to be together in one place, and it didn't happen. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it. But I'm hoping at some point, once things open back up, that I can start traveling again, because I really, really want to get heavily involved in VGC. And once we're able to start traveling again, I'm hoping the three of us will actually be able to get in one place at a single time. So let's keep that on the goals list.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, we've been going for a solid year now. We've had we've got a good base. I wish it was bigger. I mean, we still got time. We'll see what happens. We might see some changes in the very near future about our scheduling. But we'll see what happens with that, and we'll make announcements as they come. But that's enough of us talking about us. Let's talk about Pokemon.
Okay, so Japan is going to be hosting actual traditional sealed tournaments. This is not a build and battle. This is open packs and use what you get.
Okay, so I've seen that done in Magic. I've never seen it done in Pokemon. So
it's harder to do in Pokemon because of evolution, but I guess they're foregoing that. Now in Japan, their packs are much smaller. So
really?
Or their sets are smaller. Their packs have less cards, but with a smaller set, you have a better chance of getting the evolution lines.
Now, do you think there'll be actual just like packs off the shelf, or do you think it'll be like a special box that has so many packs in it?
I'm not sure.
And those packs will be loaded in such a way that
it will be for the newest set, but I don't know if they're like pulled out of a booster box or not.
Because I would love if sealed could actually be done.
I've done sealed before. Just group of people buy a box and split the packs up amongst themselves. Sometimes people try to do like the weird rules, like the mutant rule, where you can evolve it, but it has to be any Pokemon can evolve from any Pokemon as long as the cards are the same type.
Oh, okay.
It's like your stage 2 could actually evolve from anything. Like your Blaziken could evolve from a Charmeleon. And that actually creates a fun format in itself where the stage 2s are actually viable cards, and I think that's the funnest way to play.
Well, that's kind of cool. It'd be kind of cool to see what comes out of Japan then. So hopefully it'll translate to our sets.
The main reason this is in the news is because the top 4 players of every tournament or of each tournament are going to get a Charizard V promo, and the top contenders are going, like the number ones, the person who wins is going to get a Charizard VMAX promo, and there's only 600 of the VMAX promos being printed. So
I guess it's not going to be every league's going to have a tournament. It's going to be like select
it's
locations.
Exactly, in Pokemon centers in Japan.
Oh.
But here's what I'm confused about. They're having tournaments?
Well, maybe they're scheduling them. I don't know.
I thought you would think, like, you know, the more crowded places, especially where, you know, Pokemon is,
nothing's scheduled as of yet, correct? They're just they know we're doing it.
They have the dates.
Really?
Yeah.
How far out are they?
I think it's like July 20th to in like the first week of August.
So, Pokemon, only the bravest will survive.
I guess. I don't know what they're trying to do. I'll get the exact dates here in a second.
Don't worry about it. It's in Japan. But July, I mean, that's really all you need to know.
July 23rd to September 22nd.
Wow. That's actually kind of shocking, really. I mean, Japan,
I know.
They've been on worse lockdown than we are.
That's what I'm saying.
And theirs is actually working, folks. Go figure.
Well, they know how to wear their masks, so I'll just say that. This is going to be an expensive card.
I can imagine too. I can imagine it's going to be insanely expensive.
It's going to be insane. I guess they've done this before, and the cards didn't actually reach too high, but it wasn't Charizard. So, we'll have to see what happens. But I can, especially if they never make a reprint in America.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see some of those Facebook groups that we're members of just exploding with scalpers here real soon.
Yeah.
If anything from Japan's willing to part with theirs.
I'm sure there'll be sellers. There's definitely going to be a market for it.
Oh, absolutely. There's going to be a huge market.
Probably going to be people that are like, I'll drop $1,000 on that. You know, and little kid from Japan is just like, okay, here you go. I'll take my $1,000.
It's a piece of cardboard, kids. Don't waste your money.
Oh, but it's shiny cardboard.
It's shiny cardboard. If nothing else, Pokemon players are predictable. They like shiny things.
The Charizard art, like, I don't really care for Rainbow Rare, so the VMAX isn't doing anything for me. But that Charizard art is crisp.
It's pretty good, but I am genuinely convinced that I could go into a Pokemon tournament and jingle a set of keys and get everyone's attention.
Probably.
I'm surprised that Pokemon players and bass boat fishermen aren't like overlapping on a Venn diagram somewhere.
You could walk into a Pokemon tournament and be like, "Hey, there's a Mewtwo outside," and everybody's gonna leave and go out outside to the Mewtwo.
I don't know what you're talking about. So
most of the people will leave.
Most of it, and then one or two will stay inside and complain.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Pokemon centers. Did you see the American version of a Pokemon Center that's been popping up?
I've seen the pop-up Poke Centers they have at like the big regionals and stuff, and I've always wanted to go to the one in New York City, but I never have.
There is a new shop that's not affiliated with Pokemon Company International. It's called Original 151.
Oh, yeah, I haven't heard of this.
And I believe it's in New York. It might be Ohio. I'm not sure because it didn't dawn on me to put it in the format. But it looks like a Japanese Pokemon Center crossed with an Apple Store.
Oh,
it looks a lot cleaner, you know. But
they're not selling. Are they selling phones?
No, they're selling official Pokemon products.
So it's like the what is that called?
I couldn't tell you.
I don't know.
But
like the cleanliness and the organization of an
Apple Store.
Of an Apple Store.
Yeah.
Okay.
But here's the question: we know we have the Pokemon Center you said it was in New York. I don't think it's there anymore, is it?
It actually kind of co-opted into a gigantic Nintendo store, but they still have like a floor dedicated to Pokemon.
Gotcha. And we have like the vending machines over in Washington State. Why haven't we ever had like an honest to God like Pokemon centers open up in the United States, I think they could do rather well. I wish we had something like that. Uh,
Could be a thing about selling their stuff for way more expensive
well,
to ship it here, and people buy it.
see, I don't know, because like every time you go to a Pokemon event or even a con or of some kind, you got that guy that's selling the Pokemon stuff, and this is the funny part about it is that he's selling it like here's a Snorlax plush, and that Snorlax plush is usually what $300 around there.
Yeah.
I mean, what are some of the prices you've gotten quoted for plushies?
So I promised my girlfriend if she went with me to Roanoke Regionals, this is right after Sun and Moon came out, that I would get her an Alolan Vulpix plushie, because I was like, she saw the Alolan Vulpix design and she's like, her eyes lit up. So I'm like, I'm gonna get you that plushie. So I walk up to the the first booth where I see one, and it's a tiny little one. It's small, boring. And I'm like, how much is this? He's like, $100. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, really, how much is it? He's like, $100. Couple months later.
Did you buy it?
No, I went and got one twice the size for $45.
So you broke her heart.
No, I got a different one.
And now you have her locked in the basement.
I feed her puffins. But the funniest part is the guy's like, this is a Japanese exclusive Pokemon Center. It's authentic. They sold the same exact plushie a couple months later at GameStop for $12.
Yeah.
The exact one.
But
we bought it.
So here's the thing. You know someone bought it.
Oh, I'm sure.
But here's the real kicker. If you go on a little site called Wish and you're willing to wait about 6 weeks for it to show up, you too can get plushies for the low price of like $3. So it can't be anything with the shipping or anything like that. And this was an official licensed product. But I don't know. I kind of wish like they'd have. I get you're not going to have one in every corner in America like a Starbucks, but maybe in larger markets like your New York, DC's, Tampa, Miami, stuff like that. I don't know. I think they could do well. There are hot spots in the United States for Pokemon.
Definitely. I would plan a day trip to a Pokemon Center somewhere.
Oh, me too. But like Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Maryland, that's a big hot spot for professional players. Big hot spot. Midwest, not so much.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of players come out of California as well. So there's hot spots for it, and I think they could potentially. I'm sure there's people much smarter than I am that decide they can't make the money, so why bother? And that's why they're not there. But I kind of wish there was, but I digress.
Well, Pokemon's not always worried about making the most amount of money possible. They like to undercut things to raise the value of their stuff.
Well, and
you know what I mean?
It is, you know what the second most valuable entity in the world is?
The
Catholic Church.
Oh,
you know what the most?
I do know what the most valuable entity is.
Pokemon.
Pokemon. Yep.
It is the most expensive or highest valued IP in the world. So really, when it comes to making money, they don't mind it. They'll take it, but they don't need it. There's parades of nothing but Pikachus and one Mimikyu walking down the street in Tokyo.
Yeah.
I love those.
Oh,
I absolutely love those. When they had the one Mimikyu like trailing behind, I just think that is like perfect. So what you got next?
Japan's newest set, they've been doing the thing where they do the secret rares in some of their sets. And so first we saw the Frost Moth, then we saw the Rillaboom, and the newest one is going to be the Oragaru. I don't remember the original set it came out in, but it's the switch a card from your hand with a card on top of your deck. And so you could do that when you're going to do a professor's research and discard your hand, but you want to keep that one card, or just get an extra card in your hand and put a card you don't need on top. So it's tacked in a lot of stuff. It's a good consistency card. and they actually made it shiny in the artwork.
Because I'm shiny.
Yeah, which when we first saw that Frostmoth, I was like, oh, this reminds me of when they were doing the shiny secret rares for the staple cards, and lo and behold, it only took a couple sets, and they're starting to do shinies again.
Yeah, so we get the color inversion is what we're talking about. Not just the card is legit shiny.
Oh, right. Like shiny Oragaru is depicted on the card, not just that it's a gold rare. The Oragaru is pink and not white.
There you go. Just trying to clarify. Just trying to make sure we're out there because, like I said, shiny things.
Shiny is a broad term. Are those jingly keys?
Jingly keys. God dang it! There's not a Pokemon that's not a set of jingly keys. Anyway.
Oh, you're right.
You're right. So yeah, I mean, I think it's cool. The fact that they're acknowledging shinies in that way, I think is kind of cool. I'm still not a shiny hunter, but and let me tell you about shinies and what I know we're on TCG right now, but it's getting a little bit ridiculous when I go into ranked play and team after team after team of Pokemon, the entire team is shiny. Yes, I get your argument, Duck, that it has been around long enough that it's... But I'm calling bullcrap.
I mean, many of them probably are hacked, but
every time
you have a team full of shinies in it.
Every single time, though, I see a team of shinies, and I'm thinking, well, if you're this dedicated, you've already IV trained, you've already maxed out everything. So the fact that you got the perfect Pokemon for IV training and everything else, and it's shiny, I call bullcrap. So,
well, that's the thing. You don't need to get perfect IVs anymore.
You don't, but it's
bottle cap it. So you could breed until you get a shiny.
Where are you getting all these bottle caps?
I have like 20 bottle caps, but I don't use them because I actually breed perfect Pokemon. So
yeah, me too. If anybody needs a 6 IV Eevee, I've got about a dozen of them I don't need right now, so just let me know. I ran through and I hatched all these eggs, and I'm like, I have all these perfect ones, and like, what am I going to do with them now? So I'll trade.
Just hold them until a rainy day.
Rainy day. So what's next on the list?
There's going to be another holiday set for 2020. Big surprise. Unfortunately, we don't have any other details. We have a whole slew of products, but we don't know what Pokemon are, the forefront of the product. There's going to be pin packs. There's going to be the gigantic premium collection box. But we don't know what the big, the big draw to it was. Last year it was Shiny Rayquaza from the Shining. Was it Shining Legends? Hidden Fates.
Hidden Fates.
Shining Legends was like the first one they ever did.
Yeah, so we had Shining Legends, we had Hidden Fates, and typically these are cards that are really only good to you if you're playing Expanded.
Typically, or they're about to rotate. It's usually there a bunch of full arts and special artworks we never got. It'll be a collection of artworks that Japan only had up until now. Yeah. And then they'll try to get you to buy all the cool sparkly cards before the holidays. So those parents, not knowing how good or bad the cards are, just pick them up for their kids.
Yeah. Ooh, look at that. Shiny.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but, people buy it, and you'll have my usual rant about jackasses going out and buying the entire Walmart out, and then I'm going to make my million.
Well, usually it's not worth it to buy these. Like, the value you get from the cards, like the $100 box or the $80 box or whatever it usually is, it's usually not worth it to buy it.
Yeah.
Unless you open up good stuff in the packs. They usually come with like 10 packs, and then you can make your money there. But the promos alone are never enough to buy it. I knew people when the one came out that was it had N, right? A full art N.
Yeah.
Which at the time
N was
like a $150 card. Yeah, the only full art, and it was out of print. That if you wanted full art ends, you had to get the one that was super, super old. So then they're reprinting this end, and they're like, oh, well, if I buy this box for $100, the end's going to be worth at least $100. It brought the price of both ends down to about $60 with that new artwork existing.
And it took a nosedive after that too. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know the price offhand, But if you keep talking, I'm gonna look it up, and I'm gonna find out.
That also printed Blacksmith Hex Maniac, which got banned, I think, before they printed it.
Yes, it did. I remember that.
So there's all these cards in there that made people think it was going to be worth it. But usually, if it says promo on it, it's not going to be worth anything. Like that, the promo stamp takes away almost all value of the card, unless it's that Tropical Beach card or like the yearly Stadium card promo, because those are a limited quantity, like the Charizard we talked about. So those cards will definitely hold their value. If they're not printing anymore, then it's valuable. But if we printed thousands of them to sell in stores and people know they're going to get them when they buy them, that's all there is to it.
So I'm looking right now. The market price for the full art N is actually higher than I thought it would be.
What is it?
I was going to say it's higher than I thought it would be. What do you? Just take a guess.
$6?
No, higher.
Higher. 12.
Higher.
Is it 20?
19.
From Noble Victories?
Yes.
Which one? The one where he's biting his thumb?
Yep. From Noble Victories, the ultra rare number 101 N supporter full art, as low as 1364, but the market price is 1972. I was gonna guess 8.
Yeah, I was thinking like 6.
Yeah. So, but guess what? Pokemon's not a well, no, it really is. It's the equivalent of Beanie Babies. People go gaga thinking they're going to make $1 million off these damn things, and guess what? You're not. So just do yourself a favor. When you get a cool card, go play the game. Anyway, so what you got next for us, Ducky?
Next is some Pokemon Go news.
Go!
We're starting to see the fruits of the data mine we talked about a couple of weeks ago, where it had the animation, the coding for the animation of a Team Rocket balloon.
Yes, and we started getting emails about this last week about check your emails, and there it was. It was it's the secret plans of Team Rocket. You're going to start seeing these balloons, and apparently they're happening now. I have yet to see one, and I actually have been playing more lately.
What level are you?
36 or 37.
Oh, okay, so yeah, that's only to 35 and up players. Apparently, I don't play. That's what I read.
Oh, well, typically what Pokemon Go will do when new stuff comes out, it'll start out for level 40 and then start working its way down.
Oh, okay. Because, yeah, the first time I read it said it did appear it was only going to appear for level 40s, and then it said, update, it's appearing for 35. So I thought that was a surprise. But I guess it's just going to trickle its way down to 30, 25.
It trickles its way down. That's why they do it, to try to knock stuff out, I guess. But I've yet to see one. But there's nowhere in the code did it ever say anything about a crossover. Because Pokemon Go, it takes place in an alternate Pokemon universe, I guess.
I mean, that's kind of the argument for each game. Each cartridge is its own universe, so that's a whole convoluted theory that we don't,
Yeah, well, there's also theories out there, and the guy that does Norman, that does a gaming historian, does a great job figuring out which ones are canon for the main storyline, and goes through and resource them, because some of them are even out of order, and he does a great job with that. Look up the video sometime. It's a great series, and if you really have like an hour to kill, there's a documentary he did on the history of Tetris. Now, I know that sounds like a complete boring, like I'm going to watch this and go to sleep in 5 minutes, but no, it's actually really interesting. I've watched it several times. Yeah, that Tetris. But it looks like this wasn't in any of the code, but we are having our first real crossover, because in Pokemon Go, it's not Team Rocket. It's Team Go Rocket.
Right.
But it looks like we're getting some actual Team Rocket characters. Now, we did have Giovanni already. We had Giovanni in the event over, was it the fall? Now, we're getting everyone's favorite, Jesse and James.
Not my favorite.
Sure they are.
I despise Jesse and James. They're cute, fine, whatever, but And in my opinion, the show would be better if they didn't show up in every episode.
They don't show up in every episode.
They used to. Instead of doing filler episodes, they did about 5 or 6 minutes of Jesse and James every episode, and that was their filler for the original Pokemon anime.
Listen.
What?
Jesse has a Mimikyu.
So?
That's all that matters.
Okay. Then they don't still have the Mimikyu.
I don't care. She had a Mimikyu. That makes her waifu material.
Well, then Miranda can buy the Jessie hair and stuff in her, like, in Pokemon Go, I mean.
No. So, anyway, what do you got about Pokemon Go? Other than Jesse and James? And what do you got about Jesse and James? Because I completely cut you off and derailed you, I know.
So, Jesse and James, they each have Ekans and Koffing, respectively.
Which is awesome. They're going old school with it.
Yep, they're original Pokemon. But they have a chance to be shiny, and after you beat them, you can catch, the shadow version of the Pokemon. I don't know if Meowth is going to be involved in the battle or not, or if it's just his balloon.
Dude, how do we encounter Jesse and James? Are they going to be in like the rocket stops, or are they going to be in the balloon? What's it going to be?
So there's a chance for when the rocket balloon would spawn, the Go Rocket, the red or the black balloon with the red R. Instead of that spawning, there's a chance that the actual Meowth balloon from the anime is going to spawn in.
Cool.
And
I hope I find the Meowth balloon.
That'd be cool. And then, hey, maybe it has the shiny Ekans or Koffing, and in 3 or 4 years, you can finally transfer it to Pokemon Home.
Yeah, that's kind of getting on my nerves.
I know, it's getting on a lot of people's nerves.
It really is, because right now I have so much, and I have like 1,600 some Pokemon in Pokemon Home right now. But
buy more storage. Buy more storage.
I don't need more storage.
They're milking you out for more storage.
I can hold 6,000. I'm good. But I have another 800 in Pokemon Go ready to transfer, folks. I want to move my shiny Rayquaza over, damn it. I mean, I want to move my Lugia over, my shiny Rayquaza. I have so much cool stuff in Pokemon Go that I want to transfer over. But unfortunately, if it's not in the first 151, well, unless you want to throw in Meltan, so Meltan and Melmetal, so there's 153 Pokemon that you can transfer over, and that's it. And it's a pain in the tuchus, I'll tell you that right now, because you gotta, if you haven't done this before, you have to transfer everything into Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee, and let it go in the Go Park, which is a little confined area. Granted, they're easy to find, but then you got to catch the damn things again. And that's a pain in the butt, let me tell you. When you get something in there that, is high level, like, oh, I'm going to throw my Mewtwo in there. Well, that's great. Now I got to catch the damn thing with an Ultra Ball, maybe, if I'm lucky. Only breaks out of 100 plus of them before you finally catch them.
Good thing it's easy to get. Like 999 of them.
Quiet you. Because you're playing Let's Go, so you're doing this the whole freaking time.
Oh, you're right.
It's not just I'm pushing a button. It's you flicking that stupid controller trying to catch the damn thing. And then you got then you don't even know what it's going to be, because when you transfer it, the IVs are going to change. And you don't know what the hell you're going to get. So it might not have been worth your time.
There is a YouTuber I saw once wanting to test out that whole theory that if you catch a combo chain of a Pokemon, then it has a higher chance to spawn. And so he's like, I'm going to try to get a Zapdos to spawn in the overworld, which has a chance when you're flying on the Charizard to spawn. The legendary birds have a very small chance. So he transferred 32 Zapdos into his game from Pokemon Go. Caught them all. And then was flying around just waiting for shiny Zapdos to spawn in, and sees a Pidgey and catches it and breaks the chain.
Why?
He didn't know. It was so early on when Let's Go came out. He had no idea that he thought it was like, full odd shiny Pidgey.
Oh my god.
He didn't know it doesn't matter what Pokemon you have comboed, every single Pokemon that spawns has a chance to be shiny.
Could you imagine how much money he spent on raid passes?
Oh, I have no idea. I didn't even ever think about that. I chuckled and laughed at his pain, and then
moved on.
Right. He was going on this whole spiel at the beginning. He's like, "There's not enough evidence yet. I'm not convinced about this shiny stuff, so I'm gonna do this." I'm like, "You should have done the research." I knew how it worked at the time.
Newsflash, folks, it does work.
Mm-hmm. You could have a combo of 31 Caterpies, and you're gonna have max odds to get shiny anything that spawns in the wild. You have max odds to get shiny Dratini if you have 31 Caterpies.
I had Chauncey's.
That's insane. You pick one of the hardest things to catch to combo.
Nah, it was easy.
They jump around.
No, they're big targets. They're easy.
I don't know. It's easier to catch Caterpies.
I did it with Chauncey's. And I showed you that, too. When I transferred everything to Pokemon Home, I had pages and pages and pages of Chauncey's.
I saw your Chanceys.
Chauncey.
Chauncey.
It's a Chauncey. It's from Brooklyn. It's from Chauncey.
No.
It's the Chauncey, the Brooklyn Pokemon.
It's actually named after, it's named Chansey because you had a 0.0001% chance to catch it.
It's a Chauncey.
Mm.
So if you've used the Wonder Trade box feature on Pokemon Home, there's a pretty good chance within the last month and a half you got a Chauncey from me.
A Chansey.
The Chauncey. I always had 10 of them going at any given point throughout the day. I take my iPad to work with me, so I just boop. Oh, look what I got. Okay, cool. Throw 10 more in. An hour later, ooh, look what I got. Throw 10 more in. I was doing that for weeks. I had me some Chaunceys. So what you got left so far, Stucky?
That's it.
That's it?
Yeah. You can buy the Team Rocket outfit, the white outfit.
Yeah.
For free.
Meh.
It's free.
I don't think so, sir.
Pokemon Go store. Well, that's what I read. I obviously didn't check.
There was a hat.
I thought it was Jesse and James' outfit for free.
Well, unless they've updated it. I saw it the other day. It was just a Team Rocket hat. But check it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they've updated it since then. They do. It's a lot easier to update the mobile games than it is the...
right.
And mine does it at night when I'm sleeping, so I would never know. So, Duck, we've been doing this for a year.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Special outfits of Jesse and James are available for free.
Well, there you go, folks. You heard it from the Duck. Duck Man. So, are we going to do it for another year? Or are you retiring?
No, I'll be doing it. I was just joking at the beginning.
Yeah. Are you going to renew your professor certification, though?
I don't know.
Well, you can practice with me afterwards because I'm going to take my test here in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
I got to renew both my judge and my organizer. Now, if anybody from that was due to expire during the pandemic and just kind of blew it off and thinking, oh crap, I expired, go in and check your dates because it seems like some people did receive extensions. So make sure you're checking that, and maybe you're not expired and you don't have to go through the whole process again. Because good Lord, if you've done it, you know that is a pain in the rear. Just do your test, even if you don't know if you're going to do it for the time being. Just do your test, that way you can keep it up. But that's my word. That's Raz's word of wisdom for the evening.
I think there's some kind of 6 months window where even though you don't have the cert, you can still get it back pretty much hassle-free. I've heard from other people that let their cert go out.
There's nothing hassle-free in Pokemon. Their ticket system is just beyond irritating at times. But that all being said, I think that's all we have for this week for the World of Pokemon. Make sure you're checking out our other shows on our YouTube channel. If you just search for the Mount Moon Crew, you'll find us. I have myself. I am involved on 3 different shows. Duck's on 2 of them. Sadar is on 1 of them. And the newest member of the Mount Moon Crew, Buck Grundle. Yes, that's his name. I didn't pick it. He picked it himself. So you can listen to us on the the Social Liability Show. You can listen to us on the Untitled Anime Show, which is coming back from hiatus. We haven't done shenanigans in a while, but I think we should, Duck. We should get some shenanigans videos knocked out.
Okay.
So
yeah, I'm good for that.
So let's figure out what we're going to do with that. But make sure you follow us on social media with Blue Duck Gold Duck on Twitter. That's Blue Duck Gold Duck without the E. You can find myself on Twitter at _Razgri01. You can find us both on Facebook pretty much the same way, except I'm the Razgri01 without the underscore. But if you want to add the underscore in, you can always go back to Twitch, where you follow me at the _Razgri01. And you can follow Blue Duck Gold Duck at Blue Duck Gold Duck without the E on Twitch. You got a capture card, Duck. We haven't seen you much on there since you got it, though, so I think you need to step up your game a little bit.
Yeah, I know. It's just, there's a lot going on. I couldn't play games when I hurt my wrist.
Yeah. And Lord knows you can't play without a taco.
A taco? Oh, yeah. Well, it was bedtime when I got home.
Oh, geez. So, that all being said, folks, have yourself a delightful week. We'll see you next week on the Mount Moon Review Podcast. Duck, get us out of here.
All right, guys, just remember until...
Start over. Take a breath.
All right, guys.
No. Take a breath. Woosah. Woosah. Find your center.
Until next time, just remember, if it's too good to be blue, it's probably gold.
And he still stuttered, folks. Have a week.
Just because your card is magic, you think you're safe because you killed my life orb. Baby, do you dare to not flinch? Cause I'm coming at you like a dark pulse. I know you're gonna throw. You're gonna throw a star. But I got that lucky chance. There's no critical hits.